First sip of coffee of the day. You love it. All right. So, yes, I am feeling this one. Hold on, I got my iPad like dangling off the side of the fucking thing. That's probably the safest space for it. It's kind of hard to see. I've got this in my little watercolor set. I got a silver and gold metallic shiny kind of watercolor paint. That's why I started doing it with. Let me see if you can get like a light on here. Hold on. Can you see the flashiness? Can you see the shininess? I don't think you can see the shininess, anyways. Man. Point is, he's shiny. Even when I scanned it, it didn't show. But I figured that when the scanner light went through it, I figured that's got to make it shiny a little bit. Nope. But I'm feeling it. I'm good with it. I'm digging the wall. I still can't get over how good the Angela one looks, though. I'm angry that the rest of them don't look as good as the Angela. Twix.tv/woke. Are you watching? No? Fucking. Why? They actually, it's funny because the feds finally left Portland, which again, Portland. But the feds finally left Portland, and now you got all these different fucking news articles coming out like, ever since the feds left, everything is peaceful and happy. Like, it's never been peaceful. It's been cops smashing people in the fucking face for 2 months now. The feds came in, everybody pointed at them, and now that they left, everyone's like, oh, I see, it was all Trump and his goons. It's like, no, it's the fucking cops. That's the whole fucking point of this whole thing. So, yeah, do the thing. Watch the channel. Here's Extra Fluffy today. Episode 6. We're getting there. I've got it loaded up already. It's called This Extraordinary Being. I didn't look at anything else. I tried my hardest not to read the synopsis. Like I said at the end of the last one, I like going into these as blind as possible for the best reaction. I don't want to see shit. I don't want to know shit. I've got it loaded and it says this episode contains a strobing effect that could affect photosensitive viewers. Fun story. I actually had epilepsy when I was like a baby. I think I was gone. So I should be okay. Shit's popping off. We only have 6, 7, 8, 9, only 4 episodes left. Angela got arrested because homeboy, he's dead, right? I feel like they're not even gonna like. I feel like they're just gonna talk about it in like in the scene where someone's gonna be like, "Yeah, they got to Looking Glass, found his body." I feel like that's the last we're gonna see of him, and that's fine. That was a perfect. That was such a perfect little side episode. Little self-contained. Here's the story of Looking Glass story. I really enjoyed that, but I'm pretty sure that as good as it was, my dude's gone. We found out the senator is a douchebag, but he seemed like he seemed like he was doing that necessary evil shit where he's like, yo, listen, if I'm not in charge of these guys, they're just gonna run around killing everybody. If you don't help me, they're gonna have to go kill Angela and her whole family. So I'm trying to give you some information. We saw the Ozymandias. Greetings, President Redford. I helped you get this way. I wanted to see the rest of that video. We clearly didn't get a chance to. That kind of sucks. It couldn't have been that. I'm still trying to figure out why he gave her up in the end, because at the end he still gets the little alarm out of the garbage, so he still kind of believes in it. She took the pills. That's right. It's called nostalgia. She took the pills. It's supposed to have memories. I don't know how you put memories into pill form, but whatever. Now, she just chugged a whole fucking bottle of them, so I'm going to assume if we focus on her in this episode, I don't know if it's going to be like an Ozymandias episode maybe, but if we focus on her, I feel like we're going to get a lot of answers via, what did she call it? I still don't remember what she said, willful exposition. Where Lady True told Will, like, yo, if you give her those pills, like, it's going to fill in all the blanks for her. Hopefully it fills in all the blanks for us, too. Because I really want to know what the fuck his deal is. Because I feel like he's a good guy. He seems like he's on the up and up. HBO Max, hey. let's see. They just got Harley Quinn. If you're watching this if you're watching this and you've got HBO Max, Harley Quinn, for the love of God, watch Harley Quinn. It's so fucking good. Ozymandias left the confines of his spot. He is in space. He's on one of the moons of Jupiter. One of you said it's Callisto, and then another one of you got angry at them for saying it's Callisto. It's like, yo, like I'm sitting here like, could it be Callisto or Io or maybe it's Ganymede? I don't know. It's okay that I know what moon it is. It's not that big of a deal. You saw Jupiter in the background. You saw he was on a moon of some sorts. It's not really that big of a deal. Relax. The Lone Ranger dude hits him in the face because he was like, "You're gonna be judged," and he's like, "Oh, you're all pond scum." He kind of reminded me of that line from what's it called? Homeboy from Men in Black. Bunch of barely breathing, barely conscious pod scums. I'm totally convinced of their own superiority as they scurry about their short, pointless lives. If you want to get rid of them, in the worst way. So I would like to get some information on Ozzy in this one, but I feel like they're gonna save that for like episode 7 or 8. I feel like this is gonna be an Angela episode, just because she chugged all those pills. We don't really know anything about Lady True yet. You don't really need to know anything about Lori. She was in the Watchmen. She became an FBI agent. She fucking hunts vigilantes that are fucking being jackasses. Still haven't seen Dr. Manhattan. I thought for sure we'd see Dr. Manhattan by now. The Looking Glass is dead. Ozymandias is about to get his judgment on Callisto. Angela's about to find out all the memories from her grandfather. Lori arrested her, but has been kind of passive in the whole story. Lady True is doing something in 3 days that's going to make Angela hate her granddad, sorry. And her granddad is working with Lady True, and he can stand, and he can walk, and he can do all kinds of stuff. I think that's everything. Oh, Watchmen with the how many awards? It's so funny because I was saying on the first episode how I didn't want to, or the second episode, how I didn't want to watch this just to capitalize on its popularity with everything that's going on right now. I didn't want to be like, just, hey, friggin' cops and Black Lives Matter, friggin' Watchmen is relevant again, and I'm watching Watchmen, so you should watch Watchmen. It had nothing to do with that. It was legitimately like, I started watching Watchmen. It's one of my favorite comics of all time. I enjoyed the book. I love Gene Smart. I love Regina King. I love Jeremy Irons. Why haven't I gotten back into this? And now, in regards to Watchmen being topical, Emmy nominations? 26! Son! That's crazy. 26 Emmy nominations for this fucking show. I feel so like, I don't want to say justified in watching it, because who the fuck am I to pass judgment on TV shows? But like, I don't know, I felt like there was something. I'm so happy I held off on it now. I'm so happy I held off on it. I'm so happy none of you have spoiled anything for me. I'm so happy I haven't had anything spoiled for me. It gets kind of nervous sometimes when I do these, where I'm just like, do I dare wade into the comment section? But 26 Emmy nominations. That's nuts. I want to see what Game of Thrones did at its like height. Game of Thrones had 32. That was the record. Still, man, 26. Game of Thrones had friggin' like years and years and years and years and years of hype and fucking and publicity and books to go off of and all this crazy shit. Watchmen had one season that came out of fucking nowhere. 26. Yo. I'm ready. Episode 6. Let me just, real quick. Hoo-ha. Oh, where's my... Gotta have my little Blu-ray on fucking display. Bam. Look at that. That's a sexy little wall right there. Alright. 1 hour long episode. Okay. Turn that shit off. Let's do the damn thing. I want some answers. I'm gonna get some answers. I can feel it. I can feel the answers. Oh yeah, the TV show. I love how this actually feels like a Watchmen TV show. He was the first?
What's the story with that noose around your neck? See, I think it's an executioner thing. You know, let your enemies know you mean.
I don't remember reading that Hooded Justice was the first.
Jerry, how about you tell him what you think that noose is for?
I think it's racist.
Sex stuff.
Sex stuff.
We want you to take that fucking hood off so we can take a photo of your beautiful face. Never.
He's already tied to the fucking thing. Why can't you just take it off anyways?
He's got a safe behind the painting of the white horse in his boudoir. Now, in that safe is a roll of film.
This just it feels like such a TV show. It's spot on. Granted, it's a guy that makes TV shows making a TV show in a TV show.
This is all hush hush. Just the way you like it, sweetheart.
The music.
So, what do you say, HJ?
The big reveal. That's not what I thought he was gonna look like.
Well, ain't you pretty? Jerry, you want to do the honors?
I was expecting to do with a shaved head for some reason.
Say cheese.
Why wouldn't you have just done that without taking your mask off? I feel like he could have done all of this without taking his mask off. Like, yeah, this say cheese moment left a little bit of an opening, but they don't seem to have guns or anything. I feel like he could have very easily incapacitated them without taking his hood off first. I could see him as the star. I could see him as the star of a TV show. Oh, he even does a fucking first person Dexter style. What is it? What is it? That's right. I already knew the name of the episode. I just get so excited when I see all the ways they're gonna show you the title.
Do you know how nostalgia works? Or how they make it?
I don't.
They insert these little chips into your brain.
She's already.
Your memories. You know, and then they put them in a little pill, and you pop one, and you get to experience that shit all over again.
I would do that all day.
It was supposed to be for older folks.
That's
treatment.
makes sense.
That limited the market because, you know,
Everybody wants to do
who
that.
wants to be in the present, we can live in the past.
Yeah, exactly.
You know the rest.
Outlawed.
Dependency, ODs.
I get it.
Redford and the FDA outlawed it, and the company that made it had to stop. And do you know who owns that company?
True.
There's no your grandpa. Those were his pills you swallowed, Angela. That's very, very
You're not supposed to have someone else's memories.
nostalgia.
No, she's going through with it. Do it, Ange. Answers, 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 answers. I mean, that would be. I was gonna say, like, when you remember stuff, is it in black and white, or do you actually get a full color memory? Okay, so he used to be a cop. Did he say that? This is the graduating cadet class of 1917, 1938.
Changes you for the better.
That was cool. Simple, but effective.
And honor the badge.
The little switch out.
Congratulations, son.
No, this is just gonna be. He's gonna like skip him over.
He was proud. Be safe out there.
Come on, don't be a dick. Ugh, I knew it. I knew it.
Congratulations, son.
Beware of the cyclones.
Does someone?
Congratulations, son.
I'm assuming somebody's missing an eye.
Be safe out there.
I kind of hope they do that the entire episode, just to let Regina King use her chops. I honestly wanted a little bit more Regina King than what I've gotten so far in this show. I feel like I need just like 20% more Regina King. Granted, I wasn't expecting to get a entire Looking Glass episode. Oh, I was just watching. Speaking of HBO and Watchmen and the publicity it's getting, I was just watching John Oliver, and they had an entire section on how nobody knew about the Tulsa Massacre, and I was like, oh my god, I feel so less shitty about this. Like, they even had a dude that was like, I guess he was talking to his professor, and his professor, he like grew up in Tulsa, and his professor was talking about the Tulsa Massacre, and he was like, the fuck you talking about? Tulsa Massacre. Like, listen, like I went to high school on that street. Like, no, we didn't. So again, I feel way less bad about not knowing about any of this shit. This really was such a perfect fucking show when it comes to being perfect for the times. Granted, I don't think that he ever expected it to turn out the way that 2020 to turn out the way that it did. Tulsa to come right back in. Like, I don't think like anybody was expecting Tulsa to come back in such a strong form when it comes to the whole Trump. Isn't that where Herman Cain got it? I know Herman Cain just died. Didn't they say that he got it at the Tulsa? Yeah, because he's been in the hospital for. He was in the hospital for like a month. Yeah, holy shit. Tulsa took out the fucking. Tulsa took out Herman Cain. I don't know how to describe the camera work in this. It's so different than what the show has been so far. I don't know if maybe that's what they did back in the day, or it feels, I don't know, more fluid. Less cuts, more fluidity.
You know, I heard they have a rat problem. I'm booking this man for arson. He burned down a delicatessen on Jamaica Avenue.
That is not what happened, sir. I was just out for an evening constitutional.
What does he do?
Fellas, this spook is accusing me of a horrendous crime.
Who is he?
Who are you gonna believe? Me or
Just a white guy, or does he actually have? There you go.
Sorry.
Don't apologize to me. You apologize to him.
Hey, all right. I wasn't expecting
I'm so sorry.
bullshit.
We'll book this thing.
But Reeves made the arrest.
We got it from here.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Good work, Officer Reeves.
No, that was. What was? What was the thing? This shit. Wait, what? Did he just like walk out of doors from like nowhere?
Yeah, more hope. What's it about? Oh boy, oh, a babe.
The first Superman comic. Oh shit.
Just before his planet explodes.
Yeah, the 30s.
Behind you.
Fuck. Wasn't Bill Finger. That's Batman. Yeah.
Pardon me, officer.
Siegel? Is that the guy that did the first Superman comic? Joel Siegel? I love it. The Doors.
I think you're having memory problems, Reeves.
My memory is fine.
I was even saying I really hope that they go back and forth between her. I really like how they've been using her very sparingly.
What does this mean?
Yeah, what is that?
It's gonna be the hole in your head if you don't let it be. I'm trying to help you
you out of here.
Is that it?
Go home, please.
Hey. I love this music. It always reminds me of Tom and Jerry. It reminds me of Tom and Jerry and it reminds me of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The episode of Tom and Jerry where Jerry like leaves.
Hey there, Reeves.
He's got a little...
You alright, Helen?
Fuck that.
No thanks. I enjoyed walking. You sure?
Mm-hmm.
We just got off duty.
Fuck that.
How about you come join us for a beer?
Fuck
Appreciate
that.
I got an early shift tomorrow. We're buying.
Look at the way this dude's... Look at the fucking, like, evil in this guy's eyes right now. Fuck that.
Another time.
I mean, I know he makes it because he's 100. Oh, Jesus Christ. I wasn't sure if they were going to do like a Pleasantville kind of thing where they were the only ones in color. But they've done it, again, very sparingly. Like, the blood was all you really saw there. The lady playing the piano. Mm-hmm.
Another time ain't gonna work for us.
God damn it. I was hoping he was gonna get at least one punction. Beware the Cyclops. I still want to know what he meant by that. Did he hang? No, I was gonna say, what if this was one of them? I mean, if this was Judd. But Judd would be too old for that. But so he hung Judd on the same tree that they hung him on? Seems poetic. How'd he get down there? No, they weren't gonna kill him, they just wanted to, like, teach him a lesson.
Next time, we won't cut you down.
Fuck that. This guy dies instantly. I spend the rest of my life dedicated to just... I would wait 30 years. Just always keep an eye on this guy. Oh. And she had to experience it. So it's not even like being told the story. She actually lived through what this dude had to go through. Yeah, man, I can't even I'm enraged just watching this. I can't imagine actually like remembering it just because he brought that fat fuck. I want to know who he is. Wait, was he Hooded Justice?
I got a winner.
Was he Hooded Justice this whole time? Holy shit. And they made him a white guy in the TV show. Well, I guess nobody ever knew who he was. I don't know. But that's cool. I like that. That's a fucking Hooded Justice origin story. I was imagining it when he was walking with the thing around his neck, but it didn't like really occur to me until I saw him like, let me go help them, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Thank you. My God, thank you.
Because if he was black, nobody would be a... Jesus, that's perfect. Like if they saw a black dude beating up a bunch of people, he might still get arrested. But if he's a hooded vigilante and nobody knows what color skin he is, They might just be like, oh, there's a white dude out there saving people.
I'm angry.
Jesus Christ. Imagine being his wife and seeing that. We're going to get a turn to... Yeah. I wish I knew how to describe the camera work in this. Like I said, fluid's the only thing that I can really, like, think of. It just feels so... That's cool, though. He's Hooded Justice. So her granddad was fucking the OG vigilante.
On the paper this morning, calling you a hero.
Hooded Justice.
Had the hero not intervened,
Mm-hmm, exactly. There's no way that this would have gotten this much publicity.
surrounded encounter. What color are those telescopes?
White.
Tell me, what happened to the Dreamland Theater?
That's smart.
Where you watched that
That's fucking smart.
over? You ain't gonna get justice with a badge, Will Reeves. You gonna get it with that hood. And if you wanna stay,
I dig it.
townsfolk gonna need to take one of their arms under.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I like that. It wouldn't even occur to me. Put white makeup on
Sure you wanna do this?
to throw people off.
I'm sure.
Because you did see Hooded Justice's eyes in the comics. This makes it so that it's not even technically a retcon. It just kind of works. Wasn't this on Better Call Saul?
Beware the Cyclones.
What the fuck is this? All ambition, worldly acclaim. I just wanna be the one you love. I like that even better. Yes! Yo, this fight scene's awesome. Fucking, that chair throw is perfect. The chair throw and the table kick really helped sell this fucking scene already. Just because the show is like the Hooded Justice fight scene from American Hero Story is very Snydery. This manages to feel like a real fight while still letting one dude take out like 6 people. That chair throw. I feel like he'd have to bring some makeup with him though. If he's getting into fights like that, the shit's gonna run. The world on fire. I don't want to set the world on fire.
What the fuck are you supposed to be?
Hooded Justice. My name is Hooded Justice. Yo. Holy shit. That's very superhero-y of you. Wait, what? Oh. She's coming back too. I thought that, like, a superhero stopped time.
You may be confused as to who you are right now, or when.
Like, I thought that for a second I was gonna say
You're not moving, but your eyes are wide open.
I was talking about the Snydery direction of the fight scenes being realistic. I thought we were gonna have like a Matrix, but now that this makes sense.
Good. That's great.
Your name is Angela Abor.
Aww. Oh, she's going back in. I was gonna say she has to go back in. I need more answers.
I'm here on behalf of a costumed adventurer named Captain Metropolis. Have you heard of him?
Costumed adventurer.
Yes. Captain Metropolis would like to capitalize on that growth by forming a team.
This is fucking. Oh my god, this is so cool.
They call themselves the New Minutemen.
Uh huh.
The team is incomplete without the hero who inspired them. Hooded Justice.
He inspired the Minutemen?
Captain Metropolis is a master of strategy. He scrutinized the different locations where Hooded Justice appeared and cross-referenced them with
Is this him or is this like his
He's a
butler?
cop, but you know all about this, Officer Reed,
He doesn't know that's him.
because that cop is you.
I didn't mean that as a joke.
Mind if I ask, is this
Uh-huh.
mastermind Captain Metropolis Blum about your height?
I don't understand what you're implying.
What does the word Cyclops mean to you?
Not much.
Did nobody ever know that he was black the whole time?
Well, if you consider the Ku Klux Klan a criminal enterprise, then yes. And they're planning some.
Sounds like a job for the Minutemen, all right.
These guys are such jackasses. Not him, obviously. These fucking. Just by saying that, you're kind of giving away that it's him.
If only to tell him what a huge admirer Captain Metropolis is. Something tells me they have a lot in common.
He's so. I don't want to say douchey because he's not coming off as douchey.
No.
When did you know?
When did I know?
Oh, he was gay. I thought they just made that up.
Hooded Justice.
This is one of those moments where I can feel all the right-wing idiots that hate this show watching this scene and being like, no!
You care about what you can do for them.
I can't take Cyclops down alone. I need a team.
Oh, we're your team.
I know, but I need them too.
Tell me.
Like, I'm digging this whole thing, but I want to know about, like, the current conspiracy.
Okay. The tall grass.
Was she the baby?
It was a red car off in the distance. And there was a baby wrapped up in an American flag. So I picked it up.
Oh, I thought that was, like, his sister or something.
And I said, okay. She stopped crying. You stopped crying.
Damn, so he's been with her for a minute. I just wanna be the one you love. I know this song too. Was this also on Better Call Saul? Shadow and me, yeah. Are they only? This is. I mean, I know Better Call Saul doesn't have exclusivity rights.
Just a man.
Now that you got a team behind you, exactly what kind of crime are you
Comedian!
I believe there is a vast and insidious conspiracy at
The original Night Owl?
and I have evidence that a secret plan is being developed.
No, I want to see them.
Crime boss who calls himself Moloch the Magnificent. Now this villain is planning to harness the sun's energy into a deadly solar weapon.
Wait, what?
for every man, woman, and child in New York. So, if you'll excuse us, fellas, the Minutemen have a city to save.
Wait, what the fuck?
But first, let's talk about your savings and our good friends at National Bank.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This fucking douchebag. I'd punch him. Yeah. I'd walk the fuck out too. That bullshit.
And me. I talk with my echo. But where is that gal that I love?
I feel like this was the episode that probably got the most nominations. My echo, my shadow, and me. So he's been Hooded Justice for what, like, gotta be like 7 years by now. kid looks about 7, 6, 5. I don't know. My echo, my shadow,
About time you showed up. What happened?
and
Same thing always
me.
happens when you put a bunch of animals in the same cage. Go on in. We need someone who speaks their language.
Man. Like, I get this is how they talked and there was nothing he could do about it back then, but it's fucking aggravating. That shit would get you punched these days. Rightfully so, obviously. Is this some Cyclops shit?
Pictures started. There was a flicker.
Oh, that's right. They said there's going to be a photo sensitive.
And the whole room was full of light.
Yeah, there it is.
It told me I had to hurt people.
Also, it was like some
Maybe I did that.
Kick-Ass. No, not Kick-Ass. Fucking the other.
Inside my head.
Fuck. Kingsman. Sorry.
The Cyclops.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Go get that.
It was a riot in the theater. Cyclops is using film projectors to turn Negroes against each other. I followed him to a warehouse.
So, this is your vast and insidious conspiracy?
No, this is real.
Meanwhile, the guy's gonna harness the power of the sun for a deadly laser. What the fuck?
To come over, you need to get the others and come down and help me. You said you would help me.
They're not going to because it's Harlem.
I'm sorry. But this sort of thing isn't really the Minutemen's cup of tea. I'm afraid you're going to have to solve black unrest all on your own.
Jeez Louise.
I was gonna say, whatever happened to this guy? I was literally just going to say, what happened to this guy? That's weird timing.
Rough day, huh? What are you doing down here, buddy? I know all the cops who walk this beat, and you ain't one of them.
I was gonna say, did he not even recognize him?
What you looking for? Free steaks? Go to the warehouse. I'll give you my best cut to take home to the missus.
This is like the start of him
Got more than enough meat to
becoming a little bit more Rorschach-y.
Is your warehouse? Yes, sir. Sure is. Hey,
Don't I know you from somewhere?
no offense, but you jigs start to blend together after a while.
I always love when when headshots and shit like that feel real. Like it doesn't get a whole bunch of added splatter effects or fucking just anything extra. That just felt like. Granted, I've never seen someone get shot in the head for real, but I feel like that's that would be what it would look like. Jesus, they got a whole shit ton of them. Nice. I thought he was just gonna torch the place. I would take one of these, I would take one of all of these, torch this whole fucking spot. Fuck that, leave one of them alive and you can find out some answers.
And then hit yourself. Again. And again.
There you go. Takes one of them. What'd I say? That's it. I would take one of them, burn this whole fucking place to the ground. That's an awesome shot. I painted Hooded Justice. I didn't even realize it. Does she know he killed people?
Now, we need to go home to Tulsa.
No. I'm not going back there.
No, I'm talking about you and the Reeves.
That's why no one ever knew about him. Makes sense. I do kind of like that it runs in the family, though. Vigilanteism. Fuck, my coffee keeps getting cold because I'm just too... I'm the one that's strung up your chief. Is this the last memory that he put into pill form? Killing Judd. He hung him with the hooded justice hood. I mean, with the hooded justice noose. Ah, the light. Uh-huh. I was wondering about the light.
Whatever you think I did, you don't understand. I'm trying to fucking help you people. You don't know what's really happening.
Yes, he does.
The plan book in your closet. My granddad's. I have a right to keep it.
Was his granddad the one that strung him up?
We should look proud of your legacy. Would you hide it? All right.
Let's get to work.
You can hang yourself now.
Mm-hmm. Look at that big ass smile. Oh, so he doesn't have super strength. Here I thought that he was taking those pills to stay younger and to hang people with super strength. That's a way smarter way to go about that. You can't even say that the photo shit isn't even realistic because you have to get a warning before watching this episode because that shit fucks with people in real life too.
I'm gonna take you home now, honey.
It's the end of the episode. No!
Oh, hi there.
How did she get her out? Oh, she's a fucking quadrillionaire.
Welcome back.
So now you know what the deal is. Damn it! No! I'm so tired of getting these episodes over and I'm just like, I want to keep going. I never thought I would have the willpower that I have had. This is probably... I'm trying to think. I think this is the most willpower I've ever had to have for these reaction videos. Because Mr. Robot was airing weekly. And even then, I wasn't, like, I was super into Mr. Robot, but, like, the cliffhangers didn't make me go, like, I need the next one now. The Expanse, I've already read the books, so I'm not, like, super, like, I don't need the next episode right now and then and there. La Casa de Papel, the season's been, so I haven't been for that. Dark is just so confusing that I need a week in between just to be able to fucking focus. I feel like this is the show that gets me. Like, Doom Patrol is happening week by week, so like it doesn't hurt as much to not binge. I just want to fucking. There's 3 more episodes left of this. I just want to watch all 3 of them right now, back to back to back to back, back to back to back. Sorry, that was awesome. I feel like I want to see. I feel like that's the episode that got all the attention. So he's hooded justice. But yeah, like again, because I spend so much time at a bar working and I hear drunken racist idiots say racist shit before I kick them out, obviously. And because I spend a lot of time on the internet and fucking Twitter and politics on Reddit, and I hear what the right wing says about certain shows and movies. Like I've watched I've lost track of how many Star Wars is garbage now fucking videos I've watched. I don't really care about Star Wars, so it doesn't really bother me. I just like seeing people get pissed off about shit. Like, I always said that I haven't watched the last 3 episodes of Game of Thrones, but I've watched a good 20 hours worth of YouTube videos of people talking shit about it. So I haven't watched anything. The only thing that I've seen about this show in regards to people hating on it is the Critical Drinker, I think his name is. I talked about that in one of the episodes where he's talking about how it's a social justice fucking jerk fest. I don't see it, man. Like, it's really, like, as someone that can understand when shit goes a little bit too far, and I'm like, come on, that's a little much. You didn't have to go that hard. This show doesn't really do that. This show feels legitimately like, it's got a point. It's not just, like, that's the biggest complaint that I guess people would have, is that if it's too shoehorned in, it doesn't feel genuine, and it just feels, but you get what I mean, where this doesn't feel like, oh, Hooded Justice is a black guy, and they changed it just to make him a black guy for representation purposes. This feels like it had a legit story to tell about him being who he is and how Hooded Justice came to be. It doesn't feel forced. It just feels like a good story. And it's so hard to go through the fucking Reddit because I don't want to see any spoiler titles. What was this called? An Extraordinary Gentleman? The official Watchmen podcast. Fuck, I want to listen to that now. Is it him? And it's got Lindelof? Fuck! How did I not know about these fucking... Alright, I'm gonna listen to all of these before the next one. Listen, I love the PDPDs. Real quick, before I get into the Reddit shit, when I always talk about Lost, I always say how I can't think of another pop culture thing that I have spent more time on in my life than Lost. In a big fucking portion of that was the Lost podcast with Damon and Carlton Hughes. I listened to every single episode of that podcast times like 20. I watched every commentary on the DVDs. So if Damon Lindelof has a Watchmen podcast where he talks about the show, I'm going to fucking listen to every single episode of that before the next episode of this. That's cool. That makes me happy. I love podcasts, and that'll be fun to have a Damon Lindelof podcast back in my life. The guy who plays Hooded Justice in American Hero Story is a frequent Ryan Murphy, the guy who makes American Horror Story. That's cool. I was going to say, he seems very TV face friendly. I don't want to set the world on fire. Supremacists as the villains, racists and corrupt cops, interracial gay sex. This episode is a conservative's worst nightmare. If they hated the pilot but kept watching, I'm sure this one will make them quit. Legit. One of the writers on the show. Holy shit. Look up who owned Queen's first supermarket. So, the guy's name, was it Fred or was it Frank?
I'll give you my best cut to take home to the missus. From what I've heard about your kind, you probably got more than enough meat to satisfy her, huh?
I totally missed that line the first time around.
Yes.
Fred. Holy shit, his name is Fred. Oh my god. That's crazy. Alright, I wanted to find out before I said anything. So in case none of you, I'm sure most of you know this, because you guys are fucking bosses in the comment section where you guys know a lot of shit that... Wow. So one of the writers of the show tweeted out a cryptic message saying, look up who owned the first Queen's supermarket. First Queen's... One of, not the first. So one of the first modern supermarkets built in Queens, New York. was made by Frederick Trump. His middle name was really Christ. Jesus. That's fucking crazy. So that was Fred Trump that we just saw. The fat dude in this episode of Watchmen. The one that got shot in the head by Hooded Justice was Donald Trump's fucking father. That's crazy. That's a behind the scenes Easter eggy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When Looking Glass went into that warehouse where he found them experimenting with portals, they had the Cyclops logo on the wall when he first walked in. I thought it was just about the squid. Somebody wrote, experiencing your grandpa fuck a man in the ass must be quite a thing. It's noted in the original Night Owl Hollis Mason's memoir, Under the Hood, that Hooded Justice said complimentary things about Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. The Hooded Justice in HBO's Watchmen is depicted as being vehemently against racism, fascism, and Nazism. How did Lindelof and his team justify this? Part of Will Reeves' camouflage in terms of hiding his true identity required making statements that liked the presence of other Minutemen so as to throw off the scent of who he truly was. That's what I want to see which things got nominated for. I want to set the world on fire. Outstanding directing. Watchmen, This Extraordinary Being, got they got 3 nominations for outstanding directing, which for the first episode, the 5th episode, and the 6th episode. Outstanding cinematography, outstanding writing, outstanding single camera picture editing. Yeah, this episode got, I want to say it got the most. No, the first episode and this episode got the most nominations. I could feel it. You could just feel from this entire episode that this was something special. I don't. Sorry. I'll stop. Again, I'm gonna assume that Judd was the grandson when he said that was my granddad's. I was just reading how they were saying how that scene in the supermarket, that was the Hooded Justice scene from American Hero Story, where there's, a bank robbery, or that they're trying to rob the owner, and Hooded Justice saves the day by kicking everybody's ass, and then he does that after he jumps through the window. Whereas with this, it's puts a new spin on it, where he was in the supermarket, but it was Fred's, and he tried to shoot him. So by doing that, he jumped out the window. They did such a good job of doing enough to not completely have if I didn't see that tweet from one of the writers, I would have never in a million gazillion years would have been able to put all that together. And I feel like there's no way that that Lindelof is going to talk about that on the podcast. He wouldn't. I don't feel like Lindelof would touch that. I feel like that's just something that he would just have in the show, and then just be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Is it true that you've got that Hooded Justice shooting Donald Trump's father in the head? What a great episode! What a great episode for being so standalone-ish. Taking the original comic and adding something while also retconning at the same time. Like I was saying, how Lindelof was just talking about how that would have been a retcon too far. They did a good job of retconning this and making it feel, still respecting the original story while completely changing it. Like I don't know if any of you are reading X-Men right now, House of X. This scene right here, this is probably the best retcon I've ever seen in anything. This retcon, this scene right here is one of the most important scenes in X-Men history from now on. And it was a giant fucking retcon. But the way that Jonathan Hickman pulled it off, it didn't feel shitty. It didn't feel stupid. It didn't feel like he just wanted to, whatever, I want to. Like right now in the Batman comics, I want to say that, like, because they had to change a whole bunch of shit timeline-wise after New 52, because New 52 had a different, like, they said that all the shit that happened to Batman has happened, but it's only been in the last, like, 4 years. It's like, but he's got Damian as Robin, and Nightwing's a thing, and Red Robin's a thing, and Jason was a thing. And it's like, you can't have it both ways, but DC's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Batman's this age. We don't care that Dick Grayson would have been like 12 when Dick Grayson was like 8. And it makes no sense. We don't care, whatever. They don't do that with this. With this, it felt so... like, it was a retcon that felt like it was always part of the story, and we just didn't know that. That's what this feels like. This doesn't feel forced. This doesn't feel stupid. This doesn't feel just like out of nowhere. This feels like Hooded Justice was always a black dude, and he just always wore white makeup, and that was always how this got started. This felt legit. I like this. I also like that you don't really see the comedian and all them in the background during that press conference scene. He's kind of like blurred out. Or it's like, yeah, they're not important. This is the story we're telling. That fucking scene where she jumps out the window, though, that shit was so cool. And like I said, I was getting ready to eat my words about Zack Snyder-y kind of direction during that whole fight scene, because everything was just so fucking nasty. That entire fight, dude. Again, as soon as he threw that chair, that was one of, I don't know why that chair throw was as satisfying as it was. But that chair throw was ridiculously satisfying from a visual aesthetic like level. And then just how smoothly that kick to the table to friggin' scoot it over while he kicks that shit was fucking great. But then when he jumps out the window and everything freezes, I thought they were doing a Matrix Zack Snyder-y super cool direction. I was like, this is cool, but it does kind of take away from what I said about Zack Snyder-y direction in the show and how it's realistic. And then you see that it's Lori talking to her, and her mind is frozen. I'm like, oh, thank God. I don't have to feel like a dumbass. 3 episodes left. I'll see you next Monday. Let's see. I hope they fucking clean up. I hope they clean up at the Emmys. And I'm really excited to listen to this Damon Lindelof podcast now. So I'm going to get to that while I paint. That's a perfect example. I'm going to listen to the Damon Lindelof podcast while I paint this thing that you're seeing up here. I always say that I like reacting to shows that I know there aren't a whole lot of reactions to. Because it makes it easier for me to stand out if there's not 700,000 reaction episodes to compete with. But more importantly, I just kind of like having the small community in regards to these shows like BoJack, Dark, La Casa de Papel, Doom Patrol, Harley Quinn, The Expanse, and Watchmen. Like, I don't think that I could name you one person in my life that watches all those shows. I don't think I could name you one person in my life that watches half of those shows. So I kind of like that. I have a little niche. Again, I know it doesn't do great for my numbers since, I'm trying to start out and all my shows are fucking obscure things that nobody's watched, but what the fuck ever. Thank you guys for being part of that group. I appreciate you. I'll see you next time. I'm not even gonna do an ooh. I feel like that would be disrespectful to my man Hooded Justice.